Morning, Mitch. Yeah, this worldwide caution comes as the State Department says terrorists like al-Qaeda and other terrorist organizations could be targeting Americans overseas and American facilities. Take a look at this memo posted to the State Department website, warning about all this. It says that the death of Ayman al-Zawahiri could bring higher potential for anti-American violence. We're talking suicide operations, assassinations, kidnappings, hijackings, and even bombings. But speaking to reporters on Tuesday, the National Security Council spokesperson highlighted the importance of the mission to strike al-Qaeda and the message it sends around the world.
We will not allow Afghanistan to become a safe haven for terrorists who might bring harm to Americans, to the homeland. We met that commitment. We still remain able to identify and locate even the world's most wanted terrorist and then take the action to remove him from the battlefield.
The State Department also advises any Americans traveling abroad to pay attention to any countrywide notifications or alerts about travel advisories and to also maintain contact with the local embassy in the country. Mitch?
Tom, thank you. And now for more on this, let's bring in Todd Huntley. He's the director of the National Security Law Program and a lecturer at Georgetown University's Law Center. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Mitch. Thanks for having me on.
So the State Department is warning of higher potential for anti-American violence after the killing of Ayman al-Zawahiri. What stands out most to you in this alert?
I think it's a pretty standard alert. I think they're being cautious, as I think they should be in issuing the alert. I think Americans traveling abroad, especially in some of those high-risk areas, would be well advised to listen to the alert, follow the alert, particularly staying in contact with the local embassy or consulate wherever they may be traveling.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, Mr. Huntley, but I feel like this happens all the time, that there is some sort of disturbance in the Middle East, and it's look out, tourists, especially if you're from the United States, you're at risk. Aren't American tourists just kind of at risk all the time, especially given the hostility toward the United States that's coming from the Middle East?
Yes, Mitch, you're right. This is a fairly common type of warning that is put out, not after just a high-profile event like the killing of al-Zawahiri, but after, as you mentioned, any type of disturbance. But I think it's a good idea just to make sure that people are thinking about the potential risk and keeping aware of their surroundings. So kind of just a good reminder that what people should be doing anytime they're traveling.
And there are some concerns about attacks on smaller targets. Are there any vulnerabilities that you feel need to be addressed out there?
That's what I would be most concerned about. I don't think what we've seen in the past is some of the large-scale attacks, kind of the high-profile attacks that al-Qaeda's carried out in the past. That's going to take some time, and I don't know if they're situated to actually do that right now. But small-scale attacks against undefended targets that attract Americans traveling overseas that are carried out by either sympathizers or adherents of Zawahiri's and al-Qaeda's ideology. That is, I think, the greater danger here.
So while it's unfortunate for those that are traveling abroad that maybe they need to be on high alert for security, are we better off with Zawahiri dead now?
Yes, I think so. Again, I don't know how much he was involved in day-to-day operational planning, but he was certainly still a fairly important figurehead. So I think taking him out was, again, ended one of those long-standing, very important ideological figures in the al-Qaeda movement.
Is it one of those situations where it's kind of an American flex, like no matter where you are, we can come and get you and we can kill you if you cross us, as opposed to something that will disable al-Qaeda long-term?
Yes, I mean, I think it definitely is sending a message. Hopefully it serves as a deterrent to other individuals who may be thinking about moving into Zawahiri's spot, and also a deterrent to al-Qaeda and other organizations in carrying out some sort of long-scale attack, that once you have the United States attention like that, you're not going to get out of the crosshairs.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. It's like, okay, you want to take over for Ayman al-Zawahiri? Well, guess what? Now you have a target on your back, and the person aiming that target is the strongest military in the world, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Yes. And the place you don't want to be is the new number 2 in al-Qaeda, because soon you're going to be up to the new number 1, and that's not a good place to be.
Okay, that's Todd Huntley, director of the National Security Law Program, a lecturer at the Georgetown University Law Center. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.